Welcome back to New York Brothers Broadcast. This is Kevin live to you guys, and my bro Kenny. Nice background, Kenny. Well,
Thank
you,
you, thank you.
well, you youngins. That's the old school '90s Knicks. Tough team right there, baby. I like that. I like that you put that
Wanted
up.
to fit it all, but for some reason it expanded. But it's
Do
all
me a
good.
favor. Move your head to your left for a sec. Oh, my man Starks. You know, he reminds me of
Yeah.
Grimes. I think I have a little Grimes infatuation or something. I think
You
so.
you always get like that with like certain Knicks, you know.
I do. Barrett. I feel that way with Barrett. You know, it's just I get attached to my homegrown players. I
Who
think
was that
the
shooting guard that we drafted in the second round that we both liked? Landry Fields,
yeah, we
we
did.
both
We
liked
did.
it.
We did like
He
him.
sucked, but
He's with the Hawks organization, so yeah,
yeah.
he's nothing. He good rebounder for a shooting guard. But anyway, I do want to say that Anthony Mason and Charles Oakley are there, and I think that's a little bit what Randall needs to act tough and get those rebounds, become more of a mad dog instead of trying to become like a isolation scorer.
A
But anyway,
scorer.
yeah,
Yeah.
someone needs to teach him that, maybe in practice.
He needs to do like focus on the little things,
Bring
rebounding,
Don Chaney, I think that's the name, the coach. He was assistant coach
maybe.
the first year that we made playoffs. I think his name, Don Chaney. Bring him back. He helped. No, Mike Woodson, not Don Chaney. Mike Woodson. Bring him back. Put that guy in check. Because the guy has talent, but he just needs to put it together. But anyway, let's get started. We're going to deal with two things today. We're going to talk about first the shooting guard power rankings, continue this power rankings with the top 10. And then we're going to do a little bit of Knicks talk about what we think the players are going to average out and stuff like that. I didn't do the minutes, but we'll talk about it. We'll freelance it too as we go. But let's start with the shooting guards, Kenny. This is going to be interesting. This is a hard list because, excuse my language, kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's
There's
very,
not that many great shooting guards.
no.
And I think the problem is that like there are certain shooting guards that maybe you want to put on the list, but they might be small forwards or they might be point guards, so
Or the other way around,
gets
point
kind
guards
of
that might be
hard.
shooting guards. Like Harden
Right.
came to the league as a shooting guard, but now we have him as a point guard. Doncic is
Really,
six
because I
eight as a
had
point guard.
I put Harden as a shooting guard for the list. I put him as number one.
Yeah, but you had
So
him on the other list. You
spoilers.
can't. No, you can't. You had him on your other
Did
list.
I did I have James? Did I have
Yeah,
him as a point guard? I
yeah,
say
you
I don't
did.
remember.
You don't have it saved,
Uh no, I don't have it saved.
so I guess you're gonna have to go to your next one. Yeah, you put him because we talked about this. We were very close on top six. I still have my mine saved, and I had Harden 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had him like six or seven, same thing. But so it's gonna be
I thought I did not.
so skip your 1A, go to 1B. Who's your number one?
Oh, Devin Booker.
I know. Isn't that crazy? Devin Booker. And I don't even like his defense.
Yeah, bad defense, but great scorer. I mean,
Yeah.
guy has really emerged as a great player.
Yeah.
Um, Number two, I have Bradley Beal.
Okay. I had Beal as my fifth. I
Wow.
had I had this is an interesting one. I had Jalen Brown as two. I have a big infatuation with Jalen Brown. I really love him. I like his two-way. I think he's a 20 to 25 point scorer, can shoot the three, obviously by he was in three-point competition, and he's probably the best defensive shooting guard in our list. I don't even need to know your list to know that. He's arguably the best
I
defensive.
have,
Do you have Jalen Brown on your list? Or
I
you have him small?
do, but I have on my number four.
Okay. Okay. I respect that. Again, the list,
Yes.
it's like it's gonna be all over the place because this is a very real list. Who did you have as three?
So I composed my list based off like how important they are to the team and really with scoring. So that's why I had Jalen Brown as four.
Okay.
Um, you know, three, I had Donovan Mitchell.
Me too. I had
Uh,
Donovan Mitchell. Big dog. I had Donovan Mitchell.
exactly.
So I mean
As much as he come to the Knicks,
no, he could fall down his list though, pending, Garrett Garland doesn't share the ball as much because he is the point guard and he does average 8 assists. So it could go
right.
down. His defense is really bad. But let's see. I mean, we both had third. Who did you have at fourth? You
Fourth
had
was Jalen Brown.
okay. I had fourth, which I really think could take over number one on this list, if not this year or next year, if the same people aren't and no one is added to this list. Anthony Edwards. I think that kid can be special. I have him as shooting guard. Do you have him on your list?
I have him. Yeah, I do. I have him at number 5.
Okay. Okay.
So who's your number 5?
Bradley Beal. So I have Booker,
Okay.
Brown, Mitchell, Edwards, and Beal. Can you do your list real quick? Your top five?
Well, I had Harden, but so it would be Booker,
Uh-huh.
Beal, Mitchell, Brown, and
Edwards. Okay. So we're
Edwards.
so we're there. So is Levine your six? Because that's mine.
That is my 6.
Okay. I don't like his defense at all.
So
Uh
that shows you right there that the shooting guard is weak, right? If
yeah.
you have Levine top 10, and that's not to hate on him or anything like that, but honestly, he's not anything special. You put him in a different era, he's really a really great role player. You know, um. So yeah, I have him at 6.
Okay.
What do you got
He
next?
got the bag though, I'll tell you that. After
Oh,
Levine,
who doesn't?
I don't know if you had CJ McCollum as a point guard last week, but I have CJ
I did have
McCollum.
him as a point.
Okay, so you won't
Okay,
have him as
I
a
kept
list.
him.
Okay, so I'll skip CJ McCollum, entertaining that he is a point guard. So I'm gonna skip McCollum. I'll just have to come up with a
Whoa, I
10.
just lost my list.
You're just gonna have to think about it. Mine, if I don't use McCollum as a point guard, I'm going to say Desmond Bain.
So Desmond Bain, I have him top 10 as like number 10,
Okay, I can see that.
just because he's still a little too new, but I think he's gonna climb up that ladder a little bit.
Me too. And I'm glad we brought Bain up because he is arguably the second best defensive player in this list to me, along with Jalen Brown. Um, I think Grimes is the next Desmond Bain. The problem is that Grimes doesn't have the same height. We'll see if he can shoot the same way. Grimes looks like he can shoot. He shot 8 3-pointers in college a game at 40%. And he shot pretty good too last year. You saw, what I like about Grimes' 3-pointers that it's up here. When you shoot up here, it's hard to defend. When you shoot over here, it's easier to defend. So,
Right.
being a two-way player, I don't think he eclipsed the 20 points a game, right? But he was good.
No, I don't think so.
He he's now like a staple with the Grizzlies. Like when you think of the Grizzlies, you obviously think of Jay Morant and you think of Jaren Jackson, but he's starting to become their three, like a real three now. And that's insane to think about. I liked him in college. He did 18 points per game last year. I like this kid, man. He gives you heart. He's tough. And he's 6'6", so he can play that small forward position. But I had him as shooting guard though.
All right, bear with me because I lost my list. So
Okay.
what number are we on? I know I have Bain. I know I had Bain at 10. So
Okay. I mean, again, I took McCollum off my list, so I gotta think I gotta move McCollum off and move and put somebody else. But
wait, why'd you take McCollum off?
because you had him a shooting guard last week. Point guard, I'm sorry. So
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I'll just think of somebody. So I had Levine 6, Bain 7, because he moves on up. He was 8 originally. So this is where I got stumped and I had nothing left. So I had to reach deep into my bag and I went Klay Thompson.
Yeah, I know I got Clay Thompson. I don't know if I had him. So what number are we on? We on 7?
We're on there. So again, our list is a little bit different. So we're just talking here. Um, I don't think Klay Thompson deserves top 10, bro. To be honest with you, that's how bad this list is. I think he's fallen off immensely. I don't think he's ever going to clip the 20 points per game average anymore. I don't think his defense is there anymore. His athleticism left. Great player, good heart, but it's not the same player anymore. Arguably, he would have been 3 years ago a top 3 shooting guard, you know, but not anymore, man. It's it happens. You get old. You don't know about that, Kenny, but when you get old,
Yeah, Father Time starts kicking in.
yeah, it always wins. It's undefeated so far.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
what really set him back was those like 2 injuries.
yeah, it's like 2 3 years, man. It was disgusting. Do you have anybody you remember now?
Um,
No.
so I think I had Clay Thompson right over Bain just
Okay,
because,
like a 9.
yeah, they were kind of like the similar player. I'm trying to remember who was my 6 through 7. So I know it was Booker, Beal, Donovan Mitchell, um, Jalen Brown, Edwards was my number 5, Levine was 6, right? That's where you have Levine. I think
I
you
have
and I
Levine
had
6. Yeah.
okay. So my 7 and 8, I'm trying to remember who
I
it
had
was.
I had Bain 7. I had him 8, but I moved them up because of what we talked about. So
Trying to think. So then this is where I kind of, once again, you start kind of toying. Are they a point guard? Are they a shooting guard?
Correct.
Did I use them in the point guard list? You know, that's where it kind of gets a little difficult.
Yeah.
Um, because like I really wanted to put Cade Cunningham in that list, but I don't know if he's really considered as a point guard. Also, I think he's still relatively new.
I
Um,
have in my head, Kate Cunningham is a point guard, small forward. He's not a shooting guard.
okay. I
In
have
my
him
head.
as a point guard, shooting guard, or shooting guard, point guard. Not really sure how they're gonna really use him as of yet.
That's the beauty of that guy,
Um,
man. He could play defense 1 through 4. He's a special kid, man. I love that. I like it so much that he is like a cornerstone, generational player. He reminds me offensively a little bit like Grant Hill, but with a little bit better passing. Not as explosive as a scorer or creative around the rim. I don't know you really remember Grant Hill. You're kind of young for that, but
yeah, I remember Grant. I mean, I saw like the darker ages of
yeah, I
Grant
know.
Hill.
So it reminds me a lot of him, and he could pass. A very, very, very poor man LeBron. That's what it reminds me of. But I had him last week as a point guard, Kate Cunningham, so I didn't have him as a shooting guard. My next player was Tyrese Maxey. That's who I had.
Yes, that's now I remember. I had him at 8,
Okay.
maybe 7. No, I think it was 8. Um, and I should have thought of that because I had Maxi, so I don't know why I had Harden as number 1, but I just didn't remember that I used him. Trying to remember who was 7 now.
The guy I eliminated from this list because to me he's a point guard because he played point guard last year, but he might play shooting guard this year. Is DeJounte Murray. So I left him off the list because if he was allowed to be on this list, he would if he's a shooting guard, he would be on this list. But to me, he's still a point guard.
Yeah, I agree.
Give me a year of being shooting guard and let's see how it works and everything. And okay, then I'll consider you a shooting guard. He has the height. I think he's like 6'4". So you could be a shooting guard at 6'4". But he was still a point guard. I thought about putting him, but I'm like, no, I can't do that. I had him as my just missed the list. So because of McCollum not being on the list, I'll tell you who my 10th is. Because we're at 10th, I think. Unless you want to add somebody, I'll give you my last hope. And I'm really sad to put this guy.
No, go ahead. I'm pretty much like
Go.
honestly, I think I had like Jordan Poole maybe
Okay.
just because I think I had Maxi, then Jordan Poole, then Clay Thompson, then Desmond Bain.
Okay. And you know what? Jordan Poole might be there. The thing about Jordan Poole is the same problem with my 10th player is Tyler Hero that they're both backups. It's kind
Right,
of hard
right.
for me to put someone as a backup as a top 10 player. There's a reason why you're a backup. And I don't see any way Jordan Poole can be a starter next year. I mean, pending injuries, I don't see any way Jordan Poole. Tyler Hero, yes, I do see a way. He can win that shooting guard position. That's why I put Hero on top of Poole. But both those players are good, man. They can shoot. Poole's gonna get the max. He's gonna get the bag too. So yeah, nobody else. No, I didn't even have like Melissa's so bad. I had no what's that called? No
Like
honorable
possible
mentions.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honorable mentions. My honorable mention is my boy Grimes. I think give him 2 years, he'll make this top 10 list. I also had Gary Trent as my honorable mention and Jalen Green because Jalen Green I think is going to be a very special scorer in the league, but he's not ready yet, not even next year. And I like the Anthony Simons, but again, I don't know if he's a point guard, shooting guard. I don't think he's gonna start. Right, in your opinion?
With the Blazers?
Yeah,
No.
no, but you're
No,
you're
I
paying
also
a lot of money for a backup.
yeah, but I'm also not a big believer in Anthony Simons. I think he
Okay,
was more of a, because they had such a bad team, he really broke out.
okay,
I think
very
with
efficient.
Lillard, I think with Lillard being back, that's really going to hinder his progress.
Okay,
And
I
that's
think
something that they should have thought about.
I think his ceiling is Jordan Poole as a backup, microwave scorer off the bench. That's his ceiling. I think. I don't know that I can ever be a starter. But yeah, you're right. It's
I
not
think he's like a
smart.
Jason Terry type.
Oh, from the Mavs. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I like that. I like the
like that.
comparison. I like the comparison. I like quickly comparison. Sorry.
Maybe like a Chauncey Billups. Like, I would say Chauncey Billups was better than Jason Terry, but You know, I think that he's going to be that type of level player.
Okay.
Like
Is quickly
just
a point guard,
as
shooting guard, combo guard.
yeah, that's the thing, right? You like those are the ones that are like hard. Like you don't
Yeah,
know
I
where to
know.
put them. They're both. Maybe next time we'll just do guards in general.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Point guard,
before. We
shooting
should have
guard.
guards and wingmen, and then but listen, just because this list is hard, the point guard was hard too because you wanted to put a lot of people in it. The shooting guard, you don't want to put anybody in it. The small forwards next when we do it next week, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You know, I don't know if there's gonna be a Nick in there. You know that this is two lists in a row. There's no Nick, so we have no top 10 players in any position so far. You know, maybe Randall sneaks into top 10. I don't know, but we'll see. You just gonna have to tune in, guys. 2 weeks from now for the point for power forwards. Hold your breath for that one. But let's move on to our second topic. Back to the Knicks with our what do we think they're gonna do this year? You know, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready to start. I know you're pumped. I'm pumped. We got less than a month left.
I am.
I'm gonna watch preseason. That's how pumped I am. Because I know the 15th
Oh,
man, 14th man. So I'm gonna watch that the whole way. You know. Um I'm gonna start with you. You're gonna pick who you want to start with, but I'm gonna direct you who you're gonna start with. I want you to start with who do you think is gonna be the best player in the Knicks and tell me what they're gonna average out.
for the whole season, right?
Yeah, for the
So the best
2022,
player.
2023.
Mm, okay. I don't know if he's going to be the best player, but I'm hoping he's going to be the best player. So I'm going to go with him, RJ.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
RJ Barrett, I think, is going to put up between like 22 to 24 points per game. Okay. I hope more than 24, but 22 to 24 points per
Throw me one
game.
number. Throw me one number. If you had to put money on it, gun to the head, he's gonna average.
23.4.
I have 22. I have 22.
Okay.
So you have 23 or 22. Okay, go ahead.
Um, I have about 4 to 5 assists for him.
Okay.
All right. Um, like 2 to 3 rebounds, maybe 4 if lucky. Um, that's all I did. I didn't really go like further in depth, like shooting average and things like that. I don't know if you did
Me
all that.
neither. No, I didn't do any of
Okay,
that because
I,
but
I did the main uh, stats.
I didn't do that either. But I'm
Okay,
glad you brought that up though because I think that's what's gonna make him an all-star. If he shoots close to 40% three, 39, around 38, even 36 and above, he can be close to an all-star. If he shoots close to 78% and above for free throws, if he shoots close to 60% at the rim, right? I heard Jonathan Macri, shout out to my boy Jonathan Macri, saying that he needs to, it's what he wants, 60% close to the rim. You know, he can make the elevation. Now I have the opposite. I have 5 rebounds and 3 assists. I did go one extra step for Barrett, and I'm gonna tell you why. I went 1 block, 1 steal, and nobody else. I didn't really do this for anybody else because averaging two between a block and a steal is very it's for a small forward shooting guard it's very unique kind of thing. You know, Dwayne Wade did that. I think Dwayne Wade did almost 2 steals, 2 blocks. And I was very impressed. Now I did one for Barrett, but he can do that 1.5 for each one. If I'm not mistaken, he can get there, man. He's gonna get the
I mean
minutes.
he's a really good defender. So
Yes, I think he do more than what he shows. I think there's times that he doesn't put 100% effort in terms of he's not as focused, but he's a good defender. He has the qualities, he has the strength, you know. So let's go with the second best player. What do you got?
um, so I guess I'm gonna have to go with Brunson.
I had Randall
Uh,
second best, but go ahead.
okay, I have Brunson just because he's gonna be the guy with the ball on his hands. So I have this is a big range, 16 to 19 points.
Okay, again,
And I'm
gun to the
closer
head.
to 18. 18.
I'm gonna put a little gun over here. Gun to the head. Gun to the head. How much is my man here
18.
averaging? 18. I got 16.
18.
Go ahead. How many assists?
Okay. Assists, I have 6 to 9. So I'm gonna go with 8.
From 0 to 10.
7 to 8. That's what I'm going with.
I have 7. I
Uh,
wanted to put 8,
all
but I
right.
don't think he's that kind of guy. He's never averaged more than 5. So I said, you know what? I think he's gonna get the minutes. He's gonna be more leading the team.
He's gonna have the ball. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, he couldn't do that with Doncic. You know,
no,
Doncic had the ball the whole time.
only when he wasn't there. I would like to
Right.
see, which I should have looked up, how many assists he averaged when Doncic wasn't there. That's something we should have looked up. I'll bring that up next week. I'll do my homework. But I had 16 and 7, and I didn't do any rebounds, but I did 1 steal, 1.5 steal per games. I think he's gonna be doing that.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
Okay. All right, let's move on to third, which we already know it's gonna be Randall.
Correct.
What do you have Randall at? I don't think the listeners and the viewers and Jose are gonna be happy with what I put, but go ahead.
By the way, Doncic averaged 7.5 assists when Doncic was not playing.
Brunson averaged
Brunson,
7.5.
sorry,
I had a 7. Nice.
7.5.
I like that. I like that. See, I was close.
And
Nice.
20.4 points. So
For the year or for the playoff?
um
Yeah, but you're replacing Doncic with 2 players, Barrett and Randall. So
okay, let's
yeah, you know what I
relax
mean.
there.
I'm not. No, but I'm saying the touches. The touches. I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay.
yeah. I'm not saying the players like how good they are. The touches. You know.
All right, we'll move on to Randall. Yeah, Randall was a little bit tough for me just
Yeah.
because I don't know what type of player he's gonna be, how he's gonna be. So I relatively went low, 22 points because I think he's still gonna get points. 22 points, about 6 rebounds, and I put 4 assists. You
Okay.
know,
So I was very close on points per game. I didn't want to put 22. The only reason is because I had Barrett at 22. So I was like, I look like I'm not even thinking outside the box. So I put Randall at 21. I think Barrett's gonna beat him. And the reason why I don't have Barrett and Randall higher is because I think there's going to be more ball movement, more touches for everybody else. This is more
right?
team, I think, than we ever had. You know, the first year we made playoffs, it was Alfred Payton bringing it up, giving it to Randall, and he just did his thing. Second year, garbage the first half. Second half, Barrett took over from January all the way to the end of the year, averaging 24 points per game. I think this year Brunson's going to be distributing evenly with Barrett, Randall, Grimes starting, Mitchell a couple points here and there. You know, Fournier shooting. You know, I think he's going to be the ball's going to be distributed a lot more with defense. Tom Thibodeau's like, if you play defense, you get the minutes. I think that's going to happen. So I had Randall 21, but I had Randall at 9 rebounds per game. I was thinking 8 to 10, and so I chose 9, and I have him at 3 assists per game. Did you have him at 3 assists?
No, I
Oh,
think I said like
four.
4 assists.
Yeah, four
Yeah,
assists. I can see that too. I can see that. I can see that. Let's move on to the next
yeah,
player.
he's a pretty good passer. So
He is. He's done more, 4 or 5.
yeah,
But again, with Brunson there touching the ball, I think he's gonna go down. Right. I think if Randall starts having, a little bit of bad attitudes or bad nights, you're gonna see Brunson looking towards him, but passing the ball the other way. I think Brunson's gonna be because he's more a leader. He's earned his right. And I think Thibodeau's gonna challenge him to you gotta make the right decisions, even if people don't like it. And I think Brunson don't care. He's just gonna do it. He's like, no, you're having an off night. Give it to Barrett. Give it to Fournier. Give it to Obi.
well, there is rumor that um Tibbs really wants Obi to start on top of Randall. How true that is, I don't
I've been
know,
hearing
but
that, man.
you know,
At the small
so
forward or at the center?
at the power forward.
But Randall at the center or Brunson?
No, I think Randall off the bench. And I think, Randall coming off the bench, that's huge because he'll be playing against secondary type players, so he can go off, he can do his thing, still put up points. Will his pride let him do that? I don't think so. So,
Listen,
but
I'm
we'll
with it.
see.
I would love to see that Randall off the bench with
Me
Fournier
too.
and IQ, but I don't think in any possible way it's going to happen. I don't think. And I do believe what you said that I think Thibodeau is starting to get more infatuated with Obi. If God forbid, if Obi plays good defense, it's over for Randall. You're gonna see Thibodeau knock on Leon Rose. Yo, we gotta move this guy. This is my man now, Obi, which I hope happens, but we'll see, man. We're jumping the gun. Let's see what happens. Only Jose will cry for Randall. But let's go to the next player. Who is the fourth best player?
I'm gonna have to give it to Rose. All
Derrick
right, he's
Rose.
like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to him because he's gonna be our main backup. He's gonna be the
I
one
had
who.
Derrick Rose eighth, but go ahead.
Wow,
Yeah,
damn, why you
no
gotta hate on
respect.
Rose?
No respect. I think I'm faster than
He
Rose now.
is he he is pretty. I think he's like the heart of the team. He's that solid old man veteran. Now that we lost um Taj Gibson, so he is like the father figure for everybody. Um, but I don't have his stats anything crazy. I have like 10 to 12 points for him, about like 4 to 5 assists. You know,
I
maybe
had
maybe a little higher for assists,
okay.
but
I had him 8 points per game, 3 assists.
mm,
I had no respect. No respect.
I see that.
I had him eighth player, and I had him. I wasn't really. I just ranked them just for my hell of it. And we just started doing these rankings. We didn't really plan for these rankings, but it became easier this way. But I had him eighth. Who I had as the fourth best player was Mitchell Robinson. I say that now, but I really think Grimes is going to be the fourth best player. But I think I like Grimes more than everybody else does. So just so I don't sound
Yeah.
stupid, I put Mitchell Robinson as the fourth best player, and I had him at 10-10 and 2 blocks a game.
Okay. I don't know if he's going to get 10 points, but I would say around 8 to 10.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you're right.
I would say about 10 to 12 rebounds per game and close
How
to
many
2 blocks.
minutes? How many minutes? That's going to dictate it. How
Mitchell,
many minutes? Yes.
I would say
Over under on
27
30.
plus.
So under 30. Okay. I want to see Mitchell
Yeah.
get 30, man. I want to see Mitchell. He's a defensive
Me too,
juggernaut.
but the problem is his health wise, right? They rather keep him the whole season rather than play him a lot and, get tired out or get hurt halfway through the season. So I think they're going to be conservative with him. Um,
Okay. I see that. Yeah, you're right. Tall, lanky, very injury prone his whole life. I tell you what, his contract is nice though. I think it's 18 million
it
per year,
is.
and then it goes down. I think the last year's 13 million. That's beautiful, man.
It's not
That's
even 18.
beautiful,
It's
man.
17 million.
17. It's beautiful management. I think the last year's
Yeah.
13 though. Am I correct?
Yeah. Just under 13. So, yeah.
So people don't really understand. I want to explain to you how good of a contract that is. So if you pay somebody today 13 million, right? 4 years from now, when he's making 13 million, it's gonna be equivalent to about 18 million today. So you're kind of like, no, I'm sorry, the other way around. It's equivalent to like 7 million today. So you're paying a guy starter money. For example, you're paying him today 7 million to be a starter, just to personify what 13 million for 4 years from now is. Basically, 7-8 million. That's how good of a contract that is, man. You're paying
Yeah.
him
You're
backup money.
you're paying him pretty much
Hairstein,
at his peak of his career, very low money,
backup money,
those
backup money.
last 2 years. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that gives the Knicks a lot of flexibility on
yeah.
making moves and
The
signing other
value,
people.
yes, the trade value is insane. It should be at least a first. There isn't that much trade value in centers, but that'll give him a first round pick. As long as he stays healthy, though. God forbid he stays healthy. And he averages those 10 to 12 points a game, 10 to 12 rebounds a game, all 4 years. Maybe 2 first round picks, but who knows? Who do you got after that?
Mm,
Picks.
I'm gonna have to go with Fournier as much as
Mm-hmm.
I love Grimes. Yeah, that veteran presence. I don't really have much on Fournier. I got like 10 to 12 points. I think he's gonna shoot like plus 40% in threes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that's all I did with him because he's not gonna really pass the
Okay.
ball much.
Let me ask you something. Knowing that they put Fournier in a lot of trade offers, right? And knowing that they really wanted to move him, doesn't that scare you in terms of you being confident that he's going to be a starter?
So you're telling me because they put him in trade offers, he is going to be a starter?
He's not going to be a starter. It looks
Oh,
like
he's
they're
not going.
because in order for Leon Rose to make any moves, I'm pretty sure he talks to his coaches and his other
I,
assistance.
I mean, I think the reason why Evan, because his contract is not bad. It might be an extra year that the Knicks want to hold onto him. Um, but if he does like how he did last year, then he's definitely playing living up to his contract. At least that second half. I think,
It'll have value. Like after
yeah,
next year, it'll have value.
I think, I think if he, I think the reason why is because his contract is like that mid level, you know,
It's a lot of
standard
money.
contract.
It's
Yeah,
money.
so
It's money. It's almost 20
you
million.
fill in the gaps of where you need to make trades and stuff like that. So I think that's why he was really included. And once again, you pay him this year and next year, and then after that, you can get rid of him because he has that team option. So once
If
again,
he
it's
shoots
one
well,
more year.
if he shoots well, again, let's see if he shoots 40% or more, and he shoots a lot of 3-pointers again, like he did, because he broke the record for most Knicks 3-pointers in a season. Shout out to my boy Fournier, even though I'm trying to trade you. Um, it'll be valuable. 1 year, $18 million. Who wouldn't want that? As of last year, he still shoots well. His defense is really taking a toll. It's probably gonna take more of a toll. Hey, he's balling out in the Euro League. You saw that? I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
They always balls out over there, man. So he balled out
Well,
last
because he's
year.
he's like the main ball player.
Yeah,
He he's not a bad player,
no.
but he's just not going to be that guy in the NBA in any team.
Do,
So
do you think Thibodeau misuses him in terms of offense?
I mean, it's possible. Tips, his weakness is offense. So
That's true.
uh,
That's true.
you know,
He led the
it's,
Magic team. He was the number one scorer for the Magic team before he went to the Celtics. So I think he's not being used as much as he could be. He could score and create a little. You know, I had Fournier at 10 points per game, but I didn't put anything else. But I have him at 3 3-pointers per game. I decided to go that route. I think he's gonna average 3. I think he's
okay.
gonna go lower because I think Grimes is gonna eat his minutes more and more and more. I think Grimes on the first month of the next season is gonna average at least 27 to 28 minutes per game. You heard it here
Yeesh.
from Kevin,
That's
the
not
New York
happening.
Brothers broadcast. First,
Now it's definitely not happening.
we'll see. We'll see. You know what I love about this? Is all recorded. We can't even lie anymore. I never said that. Yeah, bro, go see episode 7. You said that, but anyway, I
Yeah.
had him there. I
No, this is
had him.
episode 9 now.
Nah, just throwing a number out. 5,
Uh,
6. I had him at 7th. And I had Rose
so
8.
I totally forgot about this one guy. So I would have had him before Evan
IQ.
quickly.
Yeah, I have him
Yes,
7th, and I have Q6. I have IQ6.
quickly. I'm surprised you had Mitchell Robinson before IQ, honestly. But IQ, I think he's going to average 15 to maybe 18 at most.
Wow, you think 18 points per game? I don't know,
That's
bro.
right.
I don't know if you had a
I
couple
I
shots before you got on this. Uh,
I think you know,
Kenny,
I don't
tell the
know, man.
viewers about what
I love
happened today.
IQ.
The news that came out about IQ, what they said.
Yeah, let me read that actually.
I think maybe that happened and it changed. You had 10 points per game. You read that and you said, nope, he's gonna average 18 now.
Well, I said 15 to 18.
18. I
I
have him at
gave up.
14, by the way. I have him at 14 and 5 assists.
So this was after the All-Star break. All-Star break playing 27.5 minutes a game. He was averaging 16 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. I mean, he was putting up numbers,
Triple doubles
especially for a backup. Yeah. Um,
to
so
Burks.
they were saying that he is going to have a larger role with the Knicks as soon as the season starts, pretty much. Um, so expect that to happen. I mean, the guy he's a lot of heart. Not every game he's gonna play well, but every game he gives 100%. And you can't beat that.
No. So
So
I heard that he is a gym rat, like full on. You have to literally shut the lights off, tell him get the hell out of the gym, go home and rest, because the guy won't leave the gym. He puts up the shots, he puts in the work, and you notice. He went from barely making college ball to being a backup as a college basketball player to Tyrese Maxey. I think it was Tyrese Maxey, right?
Yeah.
He was a backup to him, came to the league, still a backup. Now we mentioned him as a 6-man candidate, which if you're anything right about 18, if anything close to 18, even 16 and above, he will get those votes. To me, I have him at 14, and I think that was good numbers. I was like, oof, am I going too high? Should I be at 12? But I think he
You,
can play the combo guard.
you know what it is? I think there's gonna be games where when we're struggling shooting, he's gonna get hot. And he's gonna be carrying, he's gonna be going like 20 plus points per game, you know. He doesn't need to do it on a regular basis, but there's gonna be nights where like, oh man, put this guy in because he's just killing it right now, you know. He's doing the right moves, doing the right passes, the right lobs, he's shooting it, he's
I
making
think the way
it.
I feel about Grimes, you feel about IQ, a little IQ infatuation. And I hope we're both right. I
Well,
hope we.
yeah, I mean, so Grimes would definitely be next on my list. Um, I think Grimes is just a little too new still. Um, he just needs more playing time. I think he's gonna get there. But I have him about 10 to 12 at most, even maybe a little bit less than 10 um points per game. It depends if he starts or not.
I have him at 10.
Um,
I have him at 10. As a starter, I have him at 10. Four
I have
three
him,
pointers per game, one steal.
yeah, I had 3 to 4 3 pointers. Um, I didn't put any steals, but he's just, great shooting guard. Uh, the summer league, he was very impressive. He showed that he's just more than just a shooter.
I want to see why the New York Knicks told the Jazz either Barrett or Grimes. You need to show me. Grimes needs to show us why. What do these guys see in Grimes that they're saying you can have Barrett and these picks and these players, or IQ, because even off IQ with Barrett supposedly, or you can have Grimes with IQ, and they wanted Barrett and Grimes with the 3 or 4 picks unprotected, right? So I want to see that. You have to show us that. No excuses. You need to show us what made you so valuable. Him and Barrett, they both need to step up this year. The last guy, Isaiah Hairstein, whatever. Had
Right.
6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 block, and a 3-pointer.
Yeah, nothing special with him. I kind of hope that his minutes kind of died down and Jericho Sims picks him up a little bit.
Okay.
But
I wish we signed him for 1 year, not 2 years. I feel like we did another Noel, another Kemba. I don't like that. Like, why'd you guys do this? But anyway, so
I mean, he does
unfortunately,
have 2 years, I believe.
yeah, there's 2 years.
It's this
Exactly.
year and next year.
I
Yeah.
wanted to do 1 year. Catholics.
Well, I think they want to see what they have with Jericho Sims.
Okay. I'm willing to trade one of these centers, man. I'll be honest with you. You don't need 3 centers that can play. I thought maybe 2 centers and a minimum veteran, like a Taj Gibson who barely ever will ever play, to put some minutes with Randall and Obi at the power forward center. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? But
Well, I
anyway,
think they have more three just for injury purposes.
but unfortunately, guys, we're gonna have to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe and press the thumbs up. We'll be here next week or maybe this week, but we'll let you know. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Thank
Take
you,
care,
Kenny.
guys. Peace out.